Hi everybody, I'm Jennifer Roig-Francolí, best-selling author of Make Great Music with Ease, The Secret to Smarter Practice, Confident Performance, and Living a Happier Life. And I'm just popping on now to create a short video for you about two things. Firstly, just to celebrate, I am absolutely over the moon, excited and thrilled and in awe and grateful and can hardly believe it because the book, Make Great Music with Ease, which I just launched on Sunday, January 7th, hit the #1 bestseller in 2 categories and #2 bestseller in 2 categories and #4 bestseller in 2 categories. The book was in, you can choose 6 categories maximum to put your book in, and this book was made a bestseller. It reached bestseller status in all 6 categories. So way more incredible than I even expected. So that's one thing. I wanted to celebrate with all of you. I'm just so happy. And by the way, thank you so much if you had an early review copy and you shared your review on Amazon, and that made a huge difference. It really helped. And if you did get a copy and you haven't posted a review yet, it's never too late, and I'd be just super grateful if you can do that when you have a chance. So that's one thing. And I thought I would just talk very briefly about the process. So here's the thing. I had hoped, it was kind of a dream that my book would become a bestseller. But to be totally honest, even though it was a dream and I did think it was possible, I was not attached to that idea because in my head, that seems like almost impossible. So I had the dream, I had the goal, and stayed open to possibility. And yet I also remained detached from that so that whatever happened, I was going to be happy with. And I'm sharing that with you because it's a very important theme actually to all of my work, and it's in the book where I'm talking about how to achieve goals. And it's happened in my life many times, and it's even in the introduction in the book. I gave a couple examples where I suddenly wanted something and kind of thought it would be impossible, and yet I stayed open to the possibility. And then I stuck to, well, what are the steps? What needs to be done? What's possible? What can I do if I actually want that? And so instead of focusing on the goal, there's this principle that's in the Alexander technique, which my work is founded on. There's a principle of just being really present with what Alexander called the means whereby. So the means whereby you reach the goal. So you focus on the means, the process, the step-by-step process that is the natural progression to reach your goal. And that's, if you follow the process, then you may or may not reach your goal, but at least you're being present and hopefully enjoying the process. And that's really important. And that's how you can redefine success for yourself, so that you can feel successful in the moment, in the process, even if you never reach your goal. So quite honestly, that's how I approached writing this book, which is, of course, a creative process, just like learning a piece of music. And as a musician, to learn a piece of music, to achieve a goal, you need to practice every day, and you really need to be present to what you're doing. You need to focus on what you're doing and not be, overly focused on the goal. For example, if you want to win an audition for an orchestra or for a band or whatever it is that you are hoping for, you do not have control over the outcome. You can do your best work, and you can even play the best in an audition or a competition and still not win, because it is not in your control. What is in your control is how you respond in the moment to the experience. And you can, with an integrated self that's open to all possibility, you can actually enjoy the process and the experience of going to an audition, going to a competition, going to an interview, whatever it is, caring less about the outcome and caring more about, well, what's happening to me? How am I experiencing this process? How am I experiencing the music that I'm making right now as I'm playing in the audition? Or how am I experiencing the moment leading up to this important concert or whatever it is? That's what my book is all about. And I call it primary practice, because it's the most important practicing you can do, which is practicing this primary instrument, your whole mind, body, self. So I'm just absolutely amazed that the book actually became a bestseller, and I did achieve my goal, and a dream really came true, and I'm still really surprised and just really delighted. But even if that hadn't happened, I've totally enjoyed this process. It's been very difficult sometimes, extremely difficult, very challenging. This was my third attempt at writing this book. And the first one was probably more than a decade ago, and I gave up really quickly because I realized I was not ready to write this book. So that's kind of what I wanted to share about the, reaching a goal, and how the most important thing is that you do have a goal. Having a goal is really great. To have desires and things you want to achieve is really great. But you can't get too attached to the outcome, because when you're overly attached and you want something too much, you automatically create more tension in your whole system and stress. And you're approaching your means whereby with a stressed, more tight system, so that it's actually harder. That's a self-sabotaging thing, because it's harder to actually do what you want to do. You're blocking the creative flow that has to happen to actually achieve your goal. So again, this is all in my book. I talk about the process of creative inspiration, and that's actually a section from the book that I felt moved to share with you now, just in celebration of the fact that it really does work. And I've seen it happen in my life many times. This is just the latest time I've had a dream or a goal and thought, oh, that's impossible. But then I stayed open and followed the steps, and here I am. And the goal has manifested. It's surprising me. I cannot believe it's been a bestseller in all 6 categories. It's mind-blowing. And it was #1 and 2 for both the ebook and the paperback. I'm just like, really? And it's still #1 right now. So anyway, so I thought I'd read the selection from chapter 7 in celebration of achieving this goal. And hopefully, my real wish is that by reading the book and by sharing some of my stories, you will get inspired to try out this process for yourself. And you can do a lot from just reading the book, but it's so much easier if you actually have my support. And I do have an introductory program, and I do have a deep dive 6-month private coaching program. So don't forget that, this gives you a lot, but having the self-study course, having the group experience, having my private coaching, you can just move so much faster and so much more easily, and it will save you a lot of time and effort if you decide to take that next step. Just saying. Okay, so I am actually going to start on, this is the paperback version that I have here. It's page 92 in the paperback. This is part of chapter 7, which I actually read the first part of the other day in the book reading and review marathon. This chapter is called Making Music with Spirit, the process of creative inspiration. So, to summarize, the process of creative inspiration, or playing with spirit, is simple, natural, and easy. It is our normal, uncorrupted state of being. However, we get in the way of this open, free state of being when we think in ways that cause us to forget how we are connected and integrally united with everything in this universe. When we forget about the oneness of reality, we fall into the illusion of separation, and we lose awareness of our connection to spirit. As we become afraid, our egos inflate to try to make up for what we feel we have lost. We puff ourselves up in the mistaken attempt to make ourselves and others believe we are bigger than the small individual we believe ourselves to be. We forget our infinitude, our possibilities, our potential, our true self. We become competitive. We try to prove our greatness, and we try to hide our smallness. All along, all we really need is to realize we are already perfect and whole as we are in this very moment, because we are, in fact, one with everything. We are made of the love that is inseparable from the source of all creation. I recommend taking time to contemplate these ideas. Be curious and wonder about them. Don't take them on blind faith. Rather, experiment with them in your daily activities. What happens when you choose to think that you are whole, connected, and one with a creative spirit that is endlessly flowing love? Contrast that with the thought that you are separate from others, worse or better than others, and consequently that you need to try hard to connect with others, that you are flawed or imperfect, just a small ego in a wild jumble of competitive and judging souls. How do you feel when you think one way and then the other? What happens to your mood, to your body, your breath, your movements? Which way do you prefer? Which path would you rather choose to explore further, love or fear? You can always change your mind, of course. For now, I propose that you open up to the possibility that you have everything you need inside of you and all around you. That loving is easy because it's your true nature. And there's nothing to do, prove, or show. You can just rest in being your true self in this ripe, creative moment. And then let yourself make music and see where the flow of inspiration will carry you next. And then there's just a little note here that if you want to learn more about inspiration for musicians, you can access a video on the topic from the bonus materials. And by the way, if you didn't know, this book comes with a ton of free bonus materials. It comes with PDF documents. It comes with a multi-step video training. And when you purchase the book, you get access, you get on the wait list for the audiobook for free. So that's what I wanted to read for you today, because it's about the process of creative inspiration, and it is actually the process that the whole chapter, I only read part of it now, but that whole chapter is about how to manifest what you want. Basically what I said earlier on the video, it's like you can have a goal. Having a goal is fantastic, but then you have to just like put the goal on the back burner of your brain. It's like you have the goal there, but you stop thinking about it and you don't obsess over it. You know that's what you want, but you let yourself kind of forget about it and not care so much whether you achieve it or not. And that is truly what I did with this book, in having a dream that it would become a bestseller, but I was like, yeah, right. And yet I followed all the steps. Like when you're practicing, if you want to learn a hard piece, you just practice and you practice all the components of the piece and you focus on one step at a time without stressing about the fact that you can't play it yet. And that's one thing that I work with my students a lot on. It's the feeling that they should be able to do this. They should be able to play this already. They should be able to play it up to speed already. And there's all this hurry and this rush and this need to get somewhere where they aren't yet. Instead, we need to be 100% deliciously in this present moment and super grateful for what we have, because we have so much in just being here. And the fact that you can do anything at all is a miracle. So being present, putting the goal on the back burner. You still have the goal, but you let go of your attachment to it. I call it healthy detachment. And then you get curious about, well, what can I do right now? And what's happening to me right now? So thank you so much for being here. And as always, I would really be grateful if you would throw out a whole bunch of emojis right now, comment on the video, and just help this video move along and reach more people, because Facebook really doesn't show much to people these days. And so I would love it if you'd help share this video. I'm going to upload it to YouTube, and I'm going to add it to the book reading and review marathon and make this the last video of that series. Again, if you have the book, I'd be so grateful if you would hop over to Amazon, take just a couple minutes to post a review. Even if it's only 2 words, it counts. So make it easy, make it simple. Nobody is judging your writing skills, least of all me. I don't care. In this case, it is kind of about quantity. Of course, the quality is very lovely, and I am so moved by so many of the beautiful reviews that you've been posting. But don't worry about what you write so much as just do it. It's really helpful. Yeah, thank you for being here. And thank you for letting me know what you think of the book and for commenting. And I look forward to hearing from you. If you don't have it yet, you can hop over to Amazon and purchase the ebook. It's still only $1.99, so it's really cheap. The paperback is only $12.99, but it's going to go up. I've already pushed the button for the price to go up to $16.99, but I don't know when it's going to go up because that's unpredictable. So Amazon is going to do whatever it needs to do, but it could happen any minute. It could take days. I don't know. But right now, I believe you could still get it for $12.99, which is really not very expensive, I think. Very reasonable. It's a 337-page book, so it's a lot cheaper than a coaching session. All right, if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me on Messenger or send me an email, and share the book with other people if you find it useful. Thank you. Lots of love to you, and may you be inspired to go for your goals with a little less attachment and enjoy the moment. Okay, take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.